Due to the ignorance of our host, parental discretion is advised.
Welcome back to How Did It Get So Good? Episode 284. It's me by myself again. Not really making the phone calls for guests nowadays. I should step on my game. Yeah, but I didn't. But that's the cool thing about this, though. I can be like, oh, I didn't ask anybody, and then I go, I'll do it. Don't matter. I'll get it done. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hope you have the day you deserve, and protect your light and all that fun stuff that people say. All the cool kids say. What's new besides the Haktua girl? Finally, I know we talk about this a little bit in the past episodes, but I am full-time living in my own place. I finally did the move. I got all my stuff out of Brian's house, and he didn't take long to kick me out of the alarm system and also the cable. But that's whatever, right? We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm good. Also, you guys heard me talk about it last episode. I found out which shoes I lost, and I tell you what, these are this one's kind of hurt. As you know, if you guys remember, I was these are the ones. I don't know if I can those ones. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but yeah. So I finally I stopped at the box that my mom saw on the ground. It was one of my boxes, and the only reason why I knew what shoes they were is because the extra laces were in there. And I just went in the middle of the road with traffic's going by. I go, no, and it was raining and whatever. It wasn't. But yeah, kind of shitty. But I'll post which ones they are on our social media so you guys can buy them for me for Christmas. But yeah, so I'm fully living in there. And I tell you what, there's no, little by little I'm fixing a room, right? Because first of all, it was all about, hey, let's just get the shit in there. And the garage looks like if there's a bomb that exploded and there's shit all over the place. But you know what? Let me get something to drink. I forgot to get me something to drink. We've got us a Vazey. Shout out to Will Wonder. He was a podcaster back in the day, and he likes the VC. And hopefully my mother doesn't see me drinking this because she's gonna have some doubts. Yeah. So I'm like slowly putting things away. I got the kitchen mostly done. I got my room done because that was like, you know, that's where daddy rests, right? That's where daddy rests. And I get to just at least go to sleep in the cleanest room in the house. But yeah, so the garage is it's gonna be a pain in the ass because I'm gonna have to get all the stuff out and then slowly, you know, build this stuff. But it is what it is. I'm excited. I'm nothing. I get pumped to go home. I'm like, this is my shit. You know, this is my stuff. And I'm like, that's my window. You know, like that's my table. That's my fridge. You know, there's no food in my fridge, but it's mine. Also became I went to IKEA for the first time. Miss Marley, shout out to Marley, gave me an IKEA gift card, and boy, had to go get a desk because you know I have to I have to get set up for work when it's my week of scheduling, and work don't stop. So I went and got me a vest. The fuck! I went and got me a desk and set it all up, put it all together. I tell you what, dude. You want to do some. You want to put in your steps. Go to IKEA. That place is ridiculous. And I tell you what, dude. As bad as it sounds, I think this is the second time in my life that I've been there. Ever since IKEA got here, this was my second time. And by the way, I went twice last week. In fact, twice the same day, because I went in and I knew what I had to get. And once I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is not I'm grabbing, put them in my cart and go. So I was like, okay, so what's the process here? What's going on? And that's actually good, dude. Mimosa Hard Seltzer, Peach Orange. Wow. All right. Well, Wonder, I'll give you this one. This one's actually good. Anyway, so then I couldn't figure out, how to shop in IKEA. So I went home, and then my mother, shout out to my mother, she's been like, "You need anything? You good? You need to buy some stuff?" And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, Mom. I went to IKEA, and I guess I don't know how to shop. Like what's going on? Like what do I do?" And she goes, "We'll come pick you up. We'll go back." I said, "Okay." They came and picked me up. We went to IKEA. I bought my stuff. I took my fucking I took my measuring tape with me, because you boys doing things right. You boys doing things right. I'm measuring the space, the specific space where my desk is gonna go. And then I went and I started measuring all these tables and stuff. So I go, "Okay, Mom, so now what?" And she goes, "Well, you take the pic." And listen, I've never done this. So if you have, shout out to you. But you take the picture of whatever thing you want, and then you pick it up at the end. Like everything that you walking by, it's a display of things. And you go, "Oh, I like that plunger." Terrible example, but like I like so the desk, you put it together, right? It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get these drawers and those legs and that table," right? So it's separate. So you took a picture, and it was like the color you want, and then you go to the drawers and you take the picture of the color you want, the design you want, and you go to the legs and the same thing, and then you just keep walking empty-handed. You're done. That's all you need, and then you go, and all of a sudden you grab a cart and you go to the warehouse side of things, and then you pick up your stuff, and then you go and you're like, "Oh, okay, this one is in aisle this, bin whatever." And then you put it on your cart, and off you go. That seems complicated, but kind of not at the same time. I was like, "Oh, it makes sense. Just go take a picture, and then you come back and you're like, 'Oh, I want this, and that,' and then you just go and grab it, put it in your cart, and then spend the next 3 hours putting it together, right?" Luckily, it wasn't that bad. I've been away from my toolboxes and therefore my tools and stuff like that. So I haven't put stuff together in like 2-3 years. So I had to dust off the tools, and I put this bitch together, man, and it looks good. It looks good. I'm all set up. Here's another thing though, because last week it was my week of scheduling, so I worked over the weekend. So I didn't have this desk, so I had to set up all my stuff on my dining table. My dining table literally became my desk. In fact, last Sunday I was editing the episode with Marley, and then I was also doing work, and then believe it or not, answering phone calls at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. And So then I bought this desk. I put it all together, and I had to, for some reason, once I got the desk put together, and this is like already 11 o'clock, right? You guys know your boy don't sleep. 11 o'clock, and then I go, well, now that this is done, and then I look at my dining table and all the cables and the monitors of it, and I'm like, well, now I have to set it all up, because otherwise I'm not gonna sleep. So then like I said, I had it set up. I used it a couple days ago. Everything works just fine. It's just everywhere, right? I picked it up as much as I could, as separate as I could. Put it all together, started plugging things one by one. I'm like, okay, so this one goes in here, and I put it here, and then that goes. I set it all up. Then 11:30 comes around, and I go, well, I don't really want to test drive this the day that I need it, so I gotta see if it works. So then I bring my work laptop, plug it all in, and then I realize that the laptop is good to go. The second monitor is good to go, but the middle one doesn't. It's not. It's just a black screen. And I'm trying to push the button to start it, and nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So sorry, work phone is like text us and shit. And so I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I'm like double checking my connections. Like I'm looking at the outlet, and I'm like, okay, well, all my shit's there. My extension cords, I'm like, it's good. And also, the mouse wouldn't go from screen to screen. In both screens, one in the middle with nothing, with all black, right? Both screens, the mouse was doing the same thing. So I'm like, oh, so I can't even do this. Go from screen to screen. Now it's moving. I have two courses. Is that what it's called? Courses? Cursor? You know what I mean. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude, whatever. I'm like, it's already midnight. I gotta go to bed. So I go to bed and I record what I'm doing. I record the things that what's doing, right. It's not right. So I'm recording it, and so I send the video to my little brother, and I say, hey, can you fix this? Because kids know their shit, right? By kid, he's 20, but I'm like, hey, can you do this? Can you fix this? And my little brother he's just like, yeah. It's just, you're not going to be my priority, dude, So a couple days go by, and he called me and said, I'm coming over. He came over last night. I plug in my laptop, my work computer, and I see this doing the same thing, right? So I try to turn it on. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. So then he comes over, and I'm showing him. I'm like, look at this. And he's looking. Now, obviously, the monitors have like the cables coming from the back, right? And then they go into the outlet. So I'm sitting there, and he's looking, right? He goes, okay. And then before he even makes a move, I said, the thing that I don't understand is, like, I can't even turn on the middle monitor. Like, these two, I mean, they're. It's like I literally have one computer, but I can see it in both, right? I can't do separate things. It's just one. And so I said, I'm blown away to the monitor, because I just had it there, like it was working there, and now that I brought it here, it's just not working. My little brother goes into where the cables are coming out from the monitor, from the back, right? The ones that go into the outlet. And all he does, he wiggles it, and he goes, thump. It puts it back in there. Monitor starts. Not only the monitor starts, but that little shove it all the way in. Now the cursor, the mouse. Now the little pointy thing goes from screen to screen. So now it's not doing this. It's one. He fixed my computer in 30 seconds. And 25 of those seconds, he was just looking at it. And now he looks at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "Are you shitting me? It's fixed." He's like, "Yeah." And I go, "Do you want some pizza?" Because I felt the dumbest. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I can put these episodes together. I can make clips. I can do all that stuff, no problem. But here's the thing, though: the computer has to be working, right? Now we get to the nitty gritty of like, okay, well, I'm gonna plug in my computer into this, and I'm gonna show it on here, and then all this fucking we're gonna be together and in sync, and those that I'm gone. See, when I had this set up at the house, when I was living with Brian set it all up. So when I move this stuff, I try not to disconnect a lot of things. So I grab cables and threw them on top of me, and I pick up both monitors, and that's how I walk into my house, into my truck, put it all in there, and I go, okay, let's see, this is how I have it, and that's how I'm gonna set it up. And then I set it up, and it worked. And then all of a sudden, I went from Brian's house to my new house, and it worked just fine. I went from the dining room, literally 15 feet away, to my new desk, and it doesn't work. So, yeah, that's what happened. I felt so stupid. And my little brother's just like, yeah, it's fixed. So I wasted gas coming here, even though it's 10 minutes away. But it fixed it, dude. And I'm grateful. But yeah, I mean, long story short, I'm loving it. That's literally my favorite thing to do after work is just come to my place and get in there and being like, oh, this is nice. I will say though, a couple of funny things have happened. I really don't know if I should talk about this. I will say this though. Last week, I went to dinner on Saturday, and then I took off and go. So my driveway is connected. It's in an alleyway, right? And all the driveways are connected basically. And then we drive onto this alleyway made of concrete, and then when you get off the concrete, then you go on the asphalt, and then you're on the road, and then you go wherever you have to go. So, as I'm leaving my house last Saturday night, there's a lady kind of like kitty corner from me, and she was putting like light. So she has her unit has like a little patio. That mine don't, but whatever. I have a balcony. She doesn't. But anyway, so she was putting like lights around her little tiny fence, right? She has like a little 4-foot fence, and she was putting lights around it. And I was looking at it, and then I noticed she was wearing like a medieval. Is that a word? Medieval? Like some kind of a Game of Thrones fucking outfit. But also wearing gnome ears. Like some big pointy ears. And I was like, this is like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Daylight. It's just putting lights on. And I saw it and I went, huh. Like, boys, it's time to get used to, right? It's time to get used to things. And so off I went. I went to dinner. I came back around, must have been around 9:30 maybe, already dark. And as I'm backing into my garage, she has like 15 all girls, adult girls, I think. They are in like some sort of a party in this patio. Now, every single one of these girls is wearing like what I don't know what you call them. I don't know what you call them. Is it like, I don't want to say furries because it's not necessarily furries, but like there was one that was this is how I can explain it. There was one that was wearing what's the name of this movie? This Disney movie, Maleficent. Maleficent, is that what it was? That Angelina Jolie was like the bat lady, and she had like the. It wasn't a crown. It was like a hat, but he had like It wasn't a hat. It was like a hoodie, but he had like the horns. So one of them was wearing that. They were all wearing like Game of Thrones outfit. Shout out to Game of Thrones. I'm watching that. 2 episodes, second season. A lot of fucking. So they all had that, and then one of them was dressed in like all white, and she had like a big, either blonde or I'm telling you, it's dark. Either blonde or white wig, and from the back, I kind of saw like the side of her face. It was like she was dressed up as Marilyn Monroe. I said that wrong. I said that weird. Marilyn Monroe. But like everybody was wearing something like that, and I go, dude, when I tell you I was this close to just go out and say, hey, how's it going? And I was not judging. I was more like interested. I guess the feeling of like maybe going and checking and knowing that they were like if they would have been minors, then I would have looked terrible, right? It's like, hey, what's up, girls? But like I said, like the lady that was doing it when I left, she was clearly an adult, and so I didn't want to just interrupt and be like, hey, what's up? But I wanted to go and say hi, and just with the excuses like, hey, I'm your new neighbor. My name's Angel. I have a podcast, and just say in the most delicate way, hey, what the fuck is this? Because I was interested. I was really interested. Oh, like, what? Is this like a once a week kind of thing? Once a month? Once a year? Are we celebrating anything? Is it like Marley was talking about the. I think she mentioned this at the end of the episode when we were walking out, and there's like there's like a gothic event that it's happening sometime in October. And it's like a gothic day or whatever it's called. Like there's so many fucking things. The people are celebrating. I have no idea. And so I was so intrigued of just saying like, hey, I kind of want to know what's going on here. And where can I get one of those outfits, right? But I didn't. Although I went to my room, and my room has these windows that are shooting straight to that patio. So I didn't want to be like, staring too much, but yeah, but I wanted to check in. I wanted to be like, hey, so when are we doing this? It was all girls though, so I probably wouldn't have gotten an invitation, but I was like, hey, I wanted to say something, but I didn't. So maybe I lost my chance, and I'm gonna get another one until next year. But that's whatever. I can be posted. By the way, I was just talking to somebody, and I said, you know what, I'll keep you posted. And they got back to me and they say, I'm not a I'll keep you posted kind of person. And the only thing that I can think of is like I've been using that so much at work that it just comes out without me even knowing. It's like, oh yeah. I, like to my mother, I'm like, yeah, I'll keep you posted. And it wasn't until this person was like, hey, who the fuck you think I am? I'll keep you posted. And I'm like, oh no, I meant that as it's like my office lingo. All right, that's how I talk. That's how I say, hey, I'll figure it out and we'll see what happens, kind of thing, right? But yeah. What else was I gonna say? Before I forget, 2 days ago, it was the #1 Queen Rocka, Dre. It was his birthday. Shout out Dre. On your 47th birthday. Who else? Shout out, yo! I tell you what though. Shout out to my guy Justin. Last week, last Friday. Today, so yeah. So the day that I'm recording this is Friday. Last Friday. Justin didn't go to work. He skipped Friday. He had to put one of his doggies to sleep. And if you've been following the podcast, you know for a fact that we've been talking about this for a while. We've talked about it before. It was the oldest dog that he has, and you know, dude, you know, doggy life. They just unfortunately they get older twice as fast as you do, and so it gets to a point when you kind of have to be like, and it's so shitty, dude, because it's in you, right? It's in you to say, I'm gonna end your life, and it fucking sucks, dude, but. It's either that or you know have her suffer, right? I guess she took a turn for the bad, and like I said, if you have been following the podcast, you know that we've talked about this before, and this has been going on for months. But it's hard because the way that Justin explains is like her brain was there, her brain was all there. She was just the same dog, but her body was telling her no. Her body was like, we're done. We can't do simple things that everybody is supposed to do. So I don't know why I said we. The body said I can't do. But yeah, so it's shitty. I've been there, and then you know, shout out to Justin. Justin was like, dude, I bawled like a little kid, and I'm like, dude, I've been there 3 times. It fucking sucks. And I tell you what, dude, I at this point in my life, I don't have any animals. My ex-wife took Crawley. Shout out to Crawley, this bird right here. And my stepdads, Mike, they trying to be correct here. They have the only dog that we have left. They're taking care of him. But that's another thing though. Like I get to go. I haven't had I've had I guess Crawley, but Crawley wasn't it's not a pet that you have to keep entertained, right? It's not a pet that you're like, oh, let's let's go fetch or whatever, right? Let's go play fetch or you know, go out for a walk. It's just you know, the bird's out of his cage and then he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. So, so I haven't had a pet in almost 3 years, and I tell you what, dude, I'm loving it. It's just so bad because now I see my mom wants to travel, and she's like, hey, can you keep an eye out? I'm like, no, dude, no. Your dog's passed. Why didn't you go? Hey, let's take this opportunity and not have a pet, and then we can go whatever with no worries. You know, now you're like, oh, we decided to get another pet, so what are we gonna do with it? Well, we're gone. Well, not me, Mom, not me. So I'm liking it too. And don't get me wrong, I love dogs, I love animals. But I'm really loving the fact that I don't have any, and I don't have to worry about it. And if I come and go as I please, I don't have to entertain an animal. So, other than myself. So, that's good. What else is new? Shout out to oh dude, good thing I remember this by the time you get to listen to this episode, because it comes out because it'll be in the middle of next week. Shout out to America, dude. Shout out to America. It's Independence Day on Wednesday. If you listen to this and it's Wednesday, is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. Thursday is the 4th. So yeah, dude. Is this when they say Happy Birthday America? That's when they say Happy Birthday America, isn't it? Independence Day. Yeah, dude. And once again, I was like, I'm thinking, I want to do stuff. I want to do things. I want to go somewhere, and then I don't. And then another 4th of July will go by when I see all my friends having fun and shooting themselves with Roman candles or whatever those are called, exposing their lives, right? Almost dying in the process, but it looks fun, and I'm gonna get to miss it again. So I don't know, dude. What am I doing wrong? Like, I want to do all these things, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know that, like, I'm looking for an invitation. Like, I can always go, hey, what are you guys doing for the 4th? And then, oh, we're doing this. I'm like, can I tag along? Is that okay? But I don't even do that. But all this, it's like it's like I'm waiting for an invitation, but at the same time, I don't ask, and I don't go above and beyond to say, hey, I want to do something. So what's going on? What's happening? So another thing, this, like I said, today's Friday night when I'm recording this. Tomorrow is UFC 303, dude. UFC, and I know that by the time you get this, it's gonna be too late. But we're gonna be at the bar. We're gonna be at the bar. I want to eat some. I want to eat a salad. I'm looking forward to that. Sometimes, dude, I tell you what, when I know that I'm gonna go to the bar and I want to get to eat a salad, I on purposely don't eat during the day. Just so by the time I get there, I'm starving, and then I eat a salad, dude. Shout out to a bar named Sue, dude. I tell you what, those guys take care of us. Those guys, we're regs. We're regs. We go in there and people know us, and we love everybody there. But yeah, so that's happening this weekend. And then the 4th on Thursday, I lucked out, dude. I get to schedule next week, which is only Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I'll schedule for Monday, because there's nothing working for 4 days. And I'm loving it. I actually took vacations to go, time off. Cause I was gonna say the wife, ew. Cause the mother and I were planning on going to Mexico. But she ended up going before. Like, she went a few weeks ago. And I just bought a house, so I can't even afford food. So instead of taking the week off and then coming back and scheduling for 2 weeks straight, because it's my week that I'll be taking off, I'm gonna stay. I'll schedule for 3 days, and back to you, Justin, for a whole weekend. Which just sucks, dude. I'm telling you, it sucks. I saw what he went through today, and obviously I've been there in my short period of doing the schedule for the whole company. Every now and then you work all day to do this schedule, and something major happens, and what seems to be a simple change in the schedule, it just changes everything, dude. Everything. So today he got there earlier than me. And after a few hours, he's like, dude, everything that I've done, it's just pointless at this point. We'll figure it out as we go, because that's not happening. So it affects everything, and it's like a domino effect. Everything just starts piling up. But yeah, it sucks. Also, I left early today. I went to the dentist. Homeboy here, 42 years old. No cavities still, dude. No cavities. And I'm proud of him. And my dentist was talking to me about this, and he was like, it's not. So my dentist is an older gentleman. And I've said this before. Everything in there, it's old. He has like a grandfather. Is it a grandfather clock? Grandpa clock? Like one of those big clocks. And like the fish tank. I mean, everything. the pictures on the wall. Like, everything is just old. But but I love the guy, and it seems like he's been there forever, and it seems like the receptionist has been there forever. They kind of, at this point, I kind of know them, and they also still take care of my ex-wife, so they kind of know us. They knew us together. Now they know us separate, and my stepdaughter's going there too. But one thing that makes me feel good though is that like the guy every now and then the guy says, "Hey, it's nice to see a good set of teeth every now and then." And every time I go there, he puts that mirror inside and it's like, doing the checkup. And then before he starts grinding, he's like, "Teeth look good." And I go, "Fuck yeah." Shout out to my mother, who wouldn't let me go to sleep without brushing my teeth. And nowadays, Mom, I still can't go to sleep without brushing my teeth. Can't go to sleep without brushing my teeth. Can't go to sleep with a dirty butthole. I don't know if that has something to do with you, Mom, but yeah, I can't do that either. So I tell you what, that's gonna happen by the time I get to my physical. By the time I turn 50 and I start going for isn't that like, what do you get? You check not your prostate. You check your butthole, right? For whatever reason, you're gonna start getting the finger at 50. My whistle's gonna be so clean, so fresh, so clean, that then the guy's gonna be like, "Hey, it's not." The guy's gonna be like, "Hey, it's nice to see a clean butthole every now and then." So yeah, so I'm happy for that. I get to have, I go to the dentist every 6 months, and every 6 months I get told, so far, knock on wood, I get told, "Hey, still good, dude, still hanging." Now they're turning into bitches though. Your boy's getting older, right? They're getting a little sensitive, right, to the cold and the hot. The hot and the cold, and the yes and the no, the in and out, the up and the down. But overall, still good. No cavities. I like the way you work it. No cavities. And and I feel proud about that, and also proud to be an American. With at least I know I'm free. Speaking of America, the presidential debate started, right? And I know we don't get I try not to. In this concept of the show, how did it get so good? I kind of just let, if someone's gonna talk about politics, it's whatever, right? I'm not like, we're not like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that." I choose not to, but that's whatever. But yeah, so which is funny because with the presidential campaigns and the debates, it comes like a massive wave of memes and jokes and gifs or gifs. That's the question. And all that stuff comes into play when it's about to we're about to get another president. I don't know, dude. I don't pay attention enough for me to know who's better. I'm not gonna be one of those shows that ask you to vote for someone. That's not what this is about. My opinion should not matter to anybody, and that's why I never say it. I never tell it. But it's coming. By the way, I just found out Mexico in November, it's gonna go to a lady president. Damn, dude, a lady president finally, first time ever in Mexico. I hope it's the first time ever. Otherwise, I would sound so stupid. Not that I know, though. No, I mean, I don't know if this ever happened before, but a lady won, and she'll be taking over in November. Let's just see how it goes, huh? Listen, I don't care whether it's I'm that kind of person that doesn't care. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a guy. Just I don't care if it's a donkey or an elephant or a duck. I don't care. Just do good. Like I said, I don't get into politics and but the majority of these people are in there for themselves, right? I mean, that's like the argument that everybody says, and I sometimes I see it and I go, huh. Is that like a status thing that you're looking for? Or you actually care? And I don't know. I don't even know the name of this lady that is taking over in Mexico, but and I heard about it. In fact, I think I posted it on my social media. They elected a lady. She's taking over in November, and today I was interviewing a fellow Latino from Mexico, and he was telling me kind of I don't know what info he's got, but he's like, Mexico's doing good. Mexico's doing good. Everything's good in Mexico. I was like, I don't know about that. But overall, I mean, there's some beautiful parts of Mexico, right? My hometown. But he was the one who was telling me, oh yeah, there's this lady, and he also told me that the guy that's in charge right now, he's doing a good job, which that's not what I've heard, but that's just me. I'm not there. I don't know. So that brings. By the way, that reminds me. Speaking of Mexico, I called my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, I bought a home. I bought a house." And then this motherfucker's reaction was like, "Man, you got money, dude." I go, "What the fuck, dude? Why is that? Why is every time we talk, the money subject comes into play, and you bring it out, not me? Why do you do this?" And I tell you what, though, I called him out. I swear on my mother, I called him out. I said, "Hey, why is it that every time we talk, you have to mention money? If I'm not buying a home, right? Because this just happened, right? I just bought a home in the last 2-3 weeks. If I wasn't doing this, and when my father calls me and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" and I, "Oh, how are you doing?" and I go, "Nothing, just working," he would say, "Man, you're always working. You're making all that money." Excuse me? No, dude, I'm not. And I try to explain it over and over again to him, to his mom, my grandma, the one that wants to check out and go to heaven, if she goes to heaven. I try to explain it and says, "Hey, let's just I try." It's that common mistake of people, or like my family per se. I'll call them out. My family thinks that because I'm making dollars, I'm a millionaire, but they're seeing things in pesos, right? So for them, like I've talked about this before when I mentioned when I mentioned to my old roomies that just came from my hometown, I say how much I bought my truck for. They were like, 1,000,000 pesos. I'm like, no, it was actually this many thousands of dollars. And he goes, "That's 1,000,000 pesos." And I go, "Yeah, but so what? It's also so many euros, and it's also so many yen, and it's also so many fucking soles." Shout out to Peru. It's like it doesn't, you can't see it like that. I'm making dollars, yes, but I'm also spending dollars. I'm not making dollars and spending pesos. Yeah, I will be a fucking millionaire in no time. But it's my dad's like, "What's going on? What's new?" And I said, "Well, because I had to tell him, right? Because at one point he's gonna know." And I say, "Oh, Dad, I finally bought a home." And he's like, "You bought a home?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, you got all that money." The fuck, dude? You mean I've saved? It's not even I've saved my money. Like I saved what I got left over from my home that I sold, that I paid every fucking month for 8 years. Like it's this money that I haven't touched for 3+ years. So yeah, I had money to buy a home. I have to. But they don't get it, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because they're like, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this before. They have asked my I don't know if he'll listen to this, but I'll say my old man so he doesn't know the F word. But my old man, he's asked me for money, and it's like, no, yeah, I can, but that doesn't mean, oh, I'm gonna give it to you and I'm gonna be just fine. Like, I have to adjust, right? But they don't get it like that though. They don't get it, and it pisses me off, because my dad's, I don't know why I said it, because my old man's brother, my uncle, he has money, and he has said, hey, why don't you ask so and so for money? It's your son. Because I don't have it though. I have enough to buy a home. Anyway, that's whatever. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty to know that that's how I'm seen from that side of the family, my family, right? It's not my mom's family. From that side of my family, they go, oh, that guy's over there. He's making all the. Have you seen how many shoes he's got? Have you seen his truck? Have you seen he just bought a home? So for them, it's like, holy shit! Like this a fucking. This is the Mexican Elon Musk, Elon Mex, and this is so far from the truth, but I'm like, whatever, dude. So I called him out. I'm like, why are we talking about why you every time I say something, it's like, oh, you got money, every time. I tell you what, oh man, maybe I have money, a little bit of money, because I don't have a girlfriend like yours that is squeezing all the money out of you. For what I hear, allegedly. And don't think I'm gonna call her mom either. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I wanted to bring you guys up to speed with. I'm watching Game of Thrones, like I mentioned. It's good. It's good. And obviously, Jay_Sims, he keeps telling me, he keeps asking me what episode you're on, and I'm like, oh, I just started with season 2. I think I'm like the second or third episode. And then he's like, oh, it's about to start getting good. I was like, okay. I'll hold you to it. So anyway, yeah, that's about it. Once again, thank you so much for sticking with me. Every time I do this episode by myself, there are little shorties. So I'm out of here. I want to go home. Yo, I tell you what, dude. I came here and I said I want to go home. I'm gonna go to the studio. I want to stop at the bank and pay rent. Shout out to this place. Rent went up. I've been here for 5 years. First time when it goes up. And so I drive by the bank. Didn't stop. I just drove by. And then here's what happened when I got here. I walked in here. I turned the camera on. I put it where it is. I did all my things, ready to record, and then I go, oh, I didn't bring my cards. And so I'm like, did I really just come here with no cards? And I'm looking at my pockets. I got like this little like a little phone size thing that keeps all my cards in there, like a little clutch, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And so I'm like, I didn't bring it. So I literally just walk into the studio. I put all the stuff, and then I don't have cards. So I'm like, so now I have to go back home, which I'm not that close anymore. And then I have to come back at a later time, on another day. So I put my hat back on, put my glasses back on, and off I went. And I go to the truck. The cards were in the truck, so I just didn't bring them in here. I go, okay, my life is falling apart, and it's fine, right? I'll figure it out. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for the VZ, Will Wonder. That's actually good. It's kind of warm. It's gotten warm. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following the show. I still got some new subscribers every week on Instagram, on YouTube. I tell you what, dude. I've been trying to get my Facebook back. I don't even understand. And at this point, I don't know. After what happened with my Amazon account, I don't know. I don't know what's real. I don't know what I'm like so skeptical of anything. I got online yesterday to get a quote for a security system that Brian has at his house, and I said, okay, I don't need it that big. I just need, a little tiny thing. And so it says, okay, we're gonna this is all online, and then I got this text when it says, hey, we're gonna give you a quote, give us a call and we'll figure it out. I go, well, I'm not gonna call, right? Then this morning at home, at work, my phone just keeps blowing up, and I'm like, and I'm thinking that someone gave kind of like I'll give you like a rundown story. We hired this guy that I know, and then he brought another guy with him. So I just figured that because the first guy had my personal number, he gave that guy my personal number, so he was calling my personal number, blowing it. And I finally said, like, yo, what? Because I thought it was the guy, and the guy told me, he says, yeah, I gave him your number. So I'm thinking, okay, that guy has my personal number instead of my fucking work number. So I finally answer the phone. I'm like, what? And I go, hey, my name is so and so from so and so security system. And I go, like, why are you calling me, dude? Like, I'm not ready. I all I wanted to do is like, hey, I have this many doors, one garage door, how much? And just give me a number, and that's it, dude. That's why do you think I don't? Why do you think I didn't call? So I don't want to bother anybody. I just want to know, kind of ballpark where I'm at, and then I go, okay, it's worth doing it, or no, we're not doing it. And now they're calling me. It's like, hey, what's up? You sign in for the thing. I don't even know. Are you Chat GPT or PTG or PT Cruiser? I don't know. Are you even real? That's what I'm trying to say. Are you AI? So now I'm so skeptical, dude. So my Facebook, I still can't get it in. I can get back in it. And it says because it's related to my. This is what it says. It's related to my account on Instagram that is called something that I have no idea what it is. I'm like, so that's not me though. Why'd you get rid of my shit when that's not me? That and the fact that I'm like I said, I'm in the house. I'm usually working on something in the house because I want to get it done. And so I haven't really sat down and be like, okay, let's really digest what the fuck is going on, because it's affecting the Facebook for the podcast. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't have access to it. I don't. So, when I want to stalk on somebody, it's harder to do it on Instagram. But hey, whatever. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hitting play. Thank you so much for hitting watch. If you're trying to catch us from YouTube, I don't know why I say us. It's just me. Once again, this has been How Did It Get So Good? Happy birthday, America. Take it over, fellas.